Hello, good afternoon. It's your girl Ini. This afternoon, I'm going to be talking to women about the topic UTI, also known as what? Urinary tract infection. Why is this topic so important to women? Because it affects women more than it affects men. Let's start by talking about the definition of UTI. What is UTI? Urinary tract infection is a common bladder infection. It can also affect the kidneys. When it affects the bladder, it is known as cystitis. When it affects the kidneys, it is termed nephritis. Cystitis is considered a lower bladder infection, while nephritis is known as an upper bladder infection. So let's dive into more information on UTI. The function of the bladder. So I have my kidney diagram right here. So I have my kidney diagram right here. We have the aorta. I have my aorta. I have my vena cava, the left kidneys, which is right here. My right kidney right here. My bladder is right here. And I have my ureter right here. So my function of my bladder, we have the function of the bladder. We have the bladder. Bladder is that organ that we are looking at. Bladder stores, what is the function of bladder? The bladder stores the urine and it's done by the help of the ureter. And also bladder sends out urine from the body and that is done by the help of the urethra. And then we have the aorta. Aorta helps with pumping blood into the bladder. And you know, aorta also pumps the blood to the rest of the body. So now, with that being said, we're going to come back again here so we can continue with our education. So how do women end up having UTI? That is a question that we all have to ask ourselves. How do we end up having UTI? So, women have shorter urethra. You know, the way we were being created, God created us in a way that we have shorter urethra, while men have longer urethra. So, because of the shorter urethra, the bacteria is able to penetrate into our bladder much faster than it does in that of men. So when that happens, we become susceptible to having infection. So that is just number one reason why women have infection really fast. Number two infection is because when we use the toilet as women, we often wipe from back to front. When we wipe from back to front, we introduce the bacteria, we bring the bacteria from the rectum into the vaginal area. And that is wrong. That is really wrong. We are not supposed to wipe ourselves from back to front. Instead, we are supposed to wipe from front to back. That way, we do not introduce bacteria back into our vaginal area. Another factor that causes women to have infection is sexual activity. Sexual activity. When we have intercourse can introduce bacteria into our vaginal area. So, and we have to be watchful about this risk factor so that we can try to prevent ourselves from getting UTI. My next factor that can cause UTI is poor hygiene. Poor hygiene. Like sometimes when we are bathing or we are bathing, we introduce bacteria into our body by douching, like putting perfume, like we're trying to make our genital area to smell good. We introduce body spray or we introduce soap into our vaginal area, and that too right there is very bad. So we have to avoid or abstain from douching. Another risk factor which women often do without knowing is wearing the nylon pants. Nylon pants contains heat. It introduces heat into your vaginal area. Women should abstain from wearing nylon pants. And another risk factor which is really bad is waiting till the last minute to empty your bladder. We see this a whole lot with people who work longer hours, like let's say women who work longer hours at their various places of work. They do not have the time to empty their bladder. So it is not good, because what it does, the urine, when you do not empty your bladder on time, the urine become stagnant. It introduces bacteria into your bladder and it causes you to have infection. So these are all bad for women. So now let's talk about the good way, like the better way on how we can manage this and prevent ourselves from having UTI. So what are the ways, like what are the preventive measures that we women we can take to prevent us from having UTI, also known as urinary tract infection? Number one, we have to empty our bladder on time. Even though you are working longer hours, for example, if you're a nurse, if you're a doctor, whatever occupation or whatever career you are doing, you have to find time to go to the bathroom to empty your bladder to prevent you from having bladder infection. Number two, you have to avoid douching. Douching is not good. I know you want that part of your body to smell good, but abstain from it. Stay clear from douching. Do not douche, because what it does is going to introduce bacteria into your vaginal area or into your body and will cause you to have bladder infection. Number three, wipe from front to back. Wipe from where? From front to back, to avoid introducing bacteria into your vaginal area. Number four, always wear cotton pants. Women, cotton pants, what it does, it prevents us from sweating. It prevents heat. Cotton pants is the best. Wear cotton pants and abstain from wearing nylon pants. That way you do not have UTI. So these are the relevant and important tips on how we women can prevent ourselves from having UTI. So I think this is where I'm going to stop. This is the end of my video. I hope women will learn something from this topic, urinary tract infection. So next time that you are at home, you can practice preventing yourself, wiping from front to back. You can buy yourself cotton pants, and whenever you are trying to have sex with your intimate partner, what you can do, you can void right after you have sexual intercourse to prevent yourself from having bacteria. When you void right after having sexual intercourse, the urine would wash away the bacteria that is sitting around your vaginal area, and that will prevent you from having UTI. I hope that we women will learn something from this topic, UTI. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for sitting to learn something with Inemesit Udo. Thank you, and I hope you learned something from it. Thank you, and next time I'll bring you more more fascinating and more videos that you will learn something from. Thank you and have a good one. And remember to subscribe, remember to like my video, and I will be bringing you more educative videos. Thank you and bye-bye.